Ed Lavandera, CNN correspondent, has been in Grand Isle, Louisiana since yesterday when this storm first touched down. Ed, what's the situation like now?
Hey, Jim. Well, it seems like 24 hours ago when we were talking, I kind of feel like we're back where we started. Here in Grand Isle, we are still pretty much confined to this house that we had been using as shelter here throughout the storm. And this is where we'll have to remain for another night because many of the roadways, if not all of them here on the island, are still very much impassable. The water right below us here on the ground level probably got to be about 4 to 5 feet deep. In fact, right over here I can show you, this is where we were, I think, last night when we were talking, Jim. You could see a couple of the lines of the bricks there on the foundation of the home. Well, if you move up above that brick line and then 2 of those panels along the siding there, that's how high the water got to where we were, which covered up this fenced-in area, this metal fencing area. You couldn't even see that. All of this was underwater just a few hours ago. So even though we are still sensing these tropical storm conditions, the heavy winds and the rain bands continue to come through, which is just simply amazing considering that this is where we were 24 hours ago. I've covered many of these storms. Usually it blows through relatively quickly. The fact that we're still having to deal with this is just exhausting, quite frankly. But the good news is, despite this, the water levels are slowly receding here, and that will give people here on the island, especially the emergency officials and city officials, the opportunity to kind of go around and start surveying. From our vantage point, and the main thing I think people want to know about, we look at structural damage, and we can see dozens of homes here in our surrounding areas. We kind of walk around, and I haven't been able to see any kind of structural damage here in Grand Isle where any homes have collapsed, and everyone builds up on these stilts to let the water, the storm surge pass underneath. That is very typical on barrier islands like this all along the Gulf Coast. So I haven't seen that structural damage, which is good news. There are several homes that have roof damage, and we have heard reports of that up and down various parts of the island here in Grand Isle. So people will be dealing with that. But the important thing, and I think what people want to see happen as quickly as possible, is for these roadways to clear away from water, and that would give people the opportunity to either start coming back or give the emergency crews the opportunity to start driving the roadways. But I still think we're probably a day away from that, Jim.
Thank you. That's Ed Lavandera, who's in Grand Isle, and want to underscore what he said. He's basically trapped in that area. We're able to get out a picture, but Ed himself and his crew are not able